you're doing, man. It's awesome.
Hey guys, it's Alex. Today we're messing with the S197s. Today, what I'm going to try to get done is to get this plasti dip off because it's just annoying as hell. Then I have to decide whether I'm going to keep the center black or leave the whole chrome outer trim like the other side. As you see, I like the chrome look. I've always liked the chrome stuff, but I kind of like the fact that there's some blacks in the center. But that's not really the main issue of the video today. Today we're going to talk about ride height. The more I look at this, the more I like the ride height. I mean, call me crazy. Don't get me wrong. This looks great. This looks amazing. This sucks to drive on the street, okay? Every time you hit a bit of a hole, it makes a hell of a thud. It scrapes. You have less clearance here. You have to then reposition your control arms with proper brackets to have the proper alignment. These are Maximum Motorsports. So you have to have the proper alignment, proper drop bracket to make everything work. Whereas a car that has this ride height drives very well. I'm gonna tell you guys, this thing hits potholes, does not even sweat. It's like, okay, no big deal. It's soft, which you kind of want for the street, and I have no clearance issues. I don't have to worry about, you know, hitting anything and whatever. I know, I get it. I look like a 70s guy, but if anything, it has to come down a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm literally gonna put ballast in the back. That's right. The last time I went out, this car started experiencing a little bit of a tire shake situation. Hey, yo, somebody's hauling ass. Let's listen. Is that a motorcycle? Oh, it's a Camaro. Oh, no, it's a Charger. Anyway, so it started experiencing some tire spin, and I said, okay, well, I could mess with the suspension, or I could do what I tell you guys in the ticket system, ballast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one of the Brembo wheels in the back, which weighs about 80 something pounds. I'm going to put it right in the wheel well, and I'm going to see if that's enough ballast to keep the car from spinning a little too much, and it actually brings the ride height down a tiny bit because you have basically 80 pounds in the back. You see what I mean, guys? It's not terrible. Like, it doesn't have this crazy rake. It's actually, in my opinion, it looks really good. So it just needs a little drop in the back. What's back here? Not much. Oh my God, that's where all my wrenches were. Dude, I have been looking for all these wrenches for the longest time. And they're all here, all these little 10 millimeters and stuff. Oh my God, the MSD's here. I was like, where's my MSD? Jesus Christ. See, yeah, look at, I got all these little wrenches here, like, you know, little travel just in case shit happens bag with a couple of screwdrivers. Actually, I'm gonna keep it here because this is a handy bag, but I'll just buy more tools. Fuck it. So let me go ahead and put a big old Brembo wheel back here to get some ballast going on the car. I don't remember there was a spare back here. I definitely don't remember a spare being back here. Hello. There we go. Okay. So because it's a quote-unquote performance package, it has this little air pump back here. So extra wiper blade, and a bunch of sand. Boy, was this a flood car? I don't know. You kind of forget how baller these pumps are, you know. Comes with a little siphon tube. I mean, I guess I never messed with these at all. Like, they just immediately came out. All right, it sits a little high, but I have a full-size spare. But I really don't, because the lug nuts won't work, so I'll have to carry a spare set of lug nuts. All right, let's see if it sits any lower with like 90 pounds in the back. Dude, it's almost there. It's like right there. Once the springs settle, I think it's gonna be exactly where it needs to be. You might not see a difference, but all I needed was about a 1/4 inch. Boy, I don't know. I think that looks, this angle looks like shit. But this angle, actually the further you get away, the better it looks. Okay, well, let's get that plasti dip out of there. This is absolutely awful, guys. It's just, but I did find a trick. If you blast it with acetone or brake clean, it breaks it down enough to peel it on a semi-quick way. Kind of thins it out and it makes it more stringy, so it makes it easier, slightly easier to peel. So I'll be here for a little while, peeling away. Whew. So yeah, a polished set of Bogarts is pretty tough to beat, in my opinion. I got to get the center cap, but you get the gist of it. Got a lot of the plasti dip off, but there's still a bunch on there. But I love the fact that these Bogarts they're kind of timeless. They don't really go bad in terms of design. Love them. So I'm going to work on the other side. I think it's going to take another hour. It's literally taking me an hour to take the center part of the plasti dip off. This side is coming off way nicer after I doused the whole thing with acetone, basically. Spray clean. Let it sit for a little while, and looks like it's peeling nicely. So I'll show you the finished product. Oh, this sun is crazy. There we go. Got the main stuff off. This is absolutely kicking my ass, so I am just gonna walk away because I'm losing my mind here. So I'll probably hit it with some kind of chemical just to get the other remnants off, but just my fingers are just shot. But yeah, the polished look is way better, way better than the black look. I like a polished look on a Bogart wheel. So once everything is off and looks more like this, oh yeah, all day. I like it. I don't know, yeah, you shouldn't look up to black. Yeah, fuck you. I'm old. Call me old. I rake it. I like polished shit, and I like a tan interior, so fuck you, right? All right, let's go out there, see if the ballast helps with the 60-foot at all. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go somewhere and do more 60-foot testing. All I did was put ballast in the back. I put a Brembo wheel with an ET Street SS on the back, probably 80 pounds worth of wheel and tire back there. So just 60 foot, because one, I don't want to go 130 miles an hour in this particular wheel and tire setup because I think the front tire is a little dry rotted. Second, it's hot out, so I'm not going to get any personal best, but I will see if I can get a 1.8 60 foot. Apparently my best 60 foot ever has been 1.92 on this car. Then I'm going to also data log to see where it's shifting, and if I can see where it's shifting, maybe it needs tweaking in the tune. But I'll also set up the camera behind the car to kind of video and slow down the body roll that could be happening with some worn out shocks. But it'll be a good thing to kind of mitigate some of the suspension tuning. For example, I have some shocks, some Vikings, so I'll be able to adjust based on what I see in the video. So I'm gonna get out there to Mexico and try to do some 60-foot hits and video it to see what is happening in the suspension specifically. I'm absolutely fanboying as to how this Gen 1 drives. It's like if you're gonna get an NA Gen 1 auto with a converter, that's the only way to get it, in my opinion. It's just perfect. You know, like, it doesn't require a lot of input to get going. Don't get me wrong, manual is king in terms of driver feedback, the feel, being connected to the car, all that stuff. It doesn't get much better than a manual, especially a 11 through 17 MT82 car. Tight gear ratios. It's just built right. And Gen 1, I think they really nailed it. But if you're gonna get an auto and you wanna do a little spirited driving, getting a converter is like a must. This sun is right in your face. So because I'm not looking to do a quarter-mile test, just a 60 foot test, I don't mind staying on the close side, so no need to go all the way to Mexico. So I'm gonna look around this industrial park here and see if there's any spot where I might be able to do some digs, just 60 feet, no burnouts, nothing crazy. I just don't want to go that far in case something happens. See how that goes. get arrested. Low stall. Hey, 1.8. Nice. All right, there you go. I was able to cut a 1.8. Now the reason I don't run it out is I don't have a lot of confidence in this wheel and tire setup. I'm gonna get some videos from the outside to see how the suspension is moving, but the ballast in the back and an 1800 stall was absolutely perfect to be able to get the car to cut a 1.8, which is, I don't think I've ever done on this car at all on the street. So I'm gonna get out, video from the outside, see what it's doing, and we'll see if the suspension needs tweaking via maybe some Vikings or something like that, and we'll wrap up the video. And I might do a pull, but man, I'm not really confident with these tires. All right, as you can see, the calves are on point. I mean, calves are ridiculous, you know, not even flexed. Look at that. Yep. Oh, come on, stop it. I mean, you know, anyway, to the car. So initially what I did is launch it at 2,000 RPMs, and you can see the car just immediately started to blaze the tire. I've noticed that with the drag radial, the moment the tire breaks loose, you're not going to catch it. And I don't pedal overdrive transmission cars, so once it starts to spin, runs over. Right there. So I knew I wasn't gonna be able to catch it properly because it's just gonna, you know, if I pedal it, it would have shifted. Then I came back and I tried an 1800 RPM hit. After a bit of a cleanup, you can actually hear the cleanup just before that. Yeah, maybe a little before that. Yes, sir. So I think there's a way of slowing down the playback speed. Is there a speed and slower? So the moment the car squats, notice it doesn't pop right back up. So what's probably happening is the shocks are so worn that they're staying down just based on momentum. The fact that the front end is coming up pretty high, I love. Like, it's ideal. So what I would probably do on something like this, let me play a little forward, see if it actually balances out. Yeah, it's still, and it's starting to chatter, right? So you start to hear the tires chatter after a little bit. Right there. So you see the wheel hop, you see the exhaust kind of bouncing up and down. So the shocks are just kind of not maintaining proper dampening because they're probably worn. So what I'll probably have to do more than likely is to set up the Vikings so that there's minimal compression and so that there is higher rebound to keep the body roll or to keep the squat going. Obviously, if you have anti-squat and a completely different control arm angle, it changes everything. You want to, you know, probably reverse that, but or actually, you know, along those lines, with extension coming into play, but there's no extension happening on this particular setup. So second. Yeah. Okay, so I definitely need some dampening control. So yep, it's a good thing to video some of your runs from the back to kind of get you to dial in the suspension. So Vikings are next. Thanks for listening, guys. Talk to you later.